It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, it is showtime. How are we doing, everybody? It is time for the Geno Jones Show, live right here, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 out on the West Coast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. All right, so please, once again, like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your kinfolks, your church members, your neighbors, folks you don't like, folks you play cards with and basketball with, and you sit around, you drink a glass of wine, and your book club, and you talk, whatever. Tell everybody and anybody that they need to like, share, and subscribe. I'd be so grateful. And plus, it's great. Listen, you got to check out the content. The content's incredible, okay? Listen, it is the most dynamic, compelling, entertaining, funny. It is just the most energetic. It is, you just got to see it for yourself, okay? I'm running out of adjectives. You have to see and hear to believe. The Geno Jones Show live right here on my YouTube channel. So on Monday, I like to start off the show with some good news. So congratulations to Fantasia and her husband on the birth of their baby girl on yesterday, May 23rd, Keziah London Taylor. Shout out to her brother Taylor, fiance, I should say Fantasia's husband and her baby's, her baby's daddy. All right. So congratulations. Brand new mommy and daddy on the birth of their baby girl. And boys, nothing. I have two daughters, so you guys know there's nothing I love more than my two daughters. So dads and daughters, it's a special relationship. Now, I know not in every case, but it should be, because the first example of how a man is supposed to treat a woman, that first example, for better or for worse, even if he's absent, the first example of how a man should treat a woman is a girl's father. That's a whole nother show, but I just want to put that in there. So congratulations, Fantasia and her husband, Mr. Taylor, and Keziah. That's a beautiful name. Also, congratulations to Drake. Yes, sir, Mr. Drake, Mr. Toronto Raptor. Mr. 50, what's Toronto's area code? Mr. 503, I do believe. He was named Artist of the Decade by the Billboard Music Awards. Okay. Some would argue it's questionable. He had an incredible run. I'm not going to hate on him. Listen, it was the Billboard Music Awards, not the Geno Jones Music Awards. So, hey, listen, Drake, like I said, he's had an incredible run. So congratulations. And speaking of parents and daddies, mommy and daddies, he had a son, his 3-year-old son, Adonis, with him. Shout out to Drake. Being a dad, that is the greatest gift that God can give you, being a dad. Now, of course, the internet knows no discretion at all. All right, it has no rules. It just the internet don't give a damn. So, they were giving Drake a lot of grief. So about, 2018? So about 3 years ago, and Adonis is 3 years old. Rapper Pusha T. So Pusha T and Drake got into this rap beef and battle. And so basically Pusha T outed Drake. So yeah, you got a baby, you got this baby by this French artist, and you don't even go see your son or claim your son. And after that, Drake came back and was like, yeah, I claim my son. So anyway, folks, we have Pusha T to thank for this very special moment between Drake and his son Adonis. The internet just don't care. The internet just does not give a damn. They'll come for anybody. It is what it is. Black Twitter, you love it, you hate it, can't live without it, right? So congratulations to Drake. All right, let's make a segue here. Not so good news, but we can't ignore this. So tomorrow, on Tuesday, May 25th, marks the 1-year anniversary. And let me just stop and go back, because it's not an anniversary. It's not. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, May 25th, marks 1 year since George Floyd was murdered on the streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota, by a convicted murderer, former Minneapolis, Minnesota police officer Derek Chauvin. There's still been a lot of debate about qualified immunity. As a matter of fact, I got a very special, the George Floyd, 1 year later. Where are we? Where are we now? Where are we going? From where we have been to where we are now to where we are going. I'm going to have a special guest. As a matter of fact, Sean Mitchell, one of my contributors, one of my political contributors, hadn't been on the show in a while. He's in law school. So he's finished with law school. So we're going to have a very, you don't want to miss tomorrow's show. You never want to miss any show, but tomorrow's going to be fire. I mean, it's going to be just like nuclear heat. It's going to be like the heat from the sun. Oh yeah, it's going to be fire. But anyway, tomorrow marks, like I said, the 1 year mark since George Floyd was murdered by convicted murderer Derek Chauvin. And there's still debate about something called qualified immunity. Qualified immunity it's a law, but it's not a law. It is, judges basically came up with this opinion, this ruling. Well, all right, I'm gonna make it simple for you. In essence, it's like a federal law. Let's just say that. Basically, qualified immunity does not allow the average everyday citizen to sue a police officer, even for murder, even in the case of Derek Chauvin. So George Floyd's family, they sued the city of Minneapolis. They were awarded $27 million, but the taxpayers paid that money. So the citizens of Minneapolis had to take their taxpayer money to pay George Floyd for Derek Chauvin, who was an employee of the city, because he murdered George Floyd. The city, somehow, they were on the hook from a civil standpoint. But Derek Chauvin didn't have to pay 1 penny. Something wrong with that. So think about it. So George Floyd's family, the family that he has in Minneapolis, I don't know how many family members. For the most part, most of his family was in Houston. But if George Floyd had family in Minneapolis, George Floyd's family, basically, their taxpayer dollars, the money they paid in taxes, was used to reimburse themselves for Derek Chauvin murdering their family member. So think about that. If you had a family member that was murdered by a police officer and that you sued the city, in most cases you can't sue the police department, you sue the city, and so you file a lawsuit against the city for a wrongful death of your family member, and some of your own money is used to reimburse you? How crazy is that? But the police officers who committed the murder, the excessive force, they get off scot-free. Well, they may not get off scot-free. In most cases, they do. But in Derek Chauvin's case, he's a convicted murderer. He's currently in jail now. But still, if he has a home, he's still got the home. If he has a car paid for, if he's got money in the bank, now he may have had to use any. I don't really. I know the Fraternal Order of Police. So the police union, I believe, paid for his legal fees. They paid for his legal defense, paid his attorney and all that. So Derek Chauvin, he may have lost his freedom, but he's got his money. Why should the taxpayers of Minneapolis, why should they have had to pay for the murder of George Floyd? Why shouldn't Derek Chauvin? Maybe the police union. I say, go after the police union. They got a ton of money. They're so busy protecting murderers on their force. This has been going on for decades now. these fraternities, police unions, the Fraternal Order Police, especially in Chicago, one of the most notoriously racist organizations. They constantly defend excessive force, murder, and brutality among their members. It's never one of their members' fault. No matter, even when you catch it on videotape, it's never the police officer's fault. It's always some lame ass excuse. Even when you catch them red-handed, shooting a teenager, a 17-year-old, 16 times, in the case of Laquan McDonald in Chicago. Or when we witnessed Derek Chauvin place his knee on the neck of George Floyd for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But somehow, it wasn't Derek Chauvin's fault. He wasn't responsible. I'm going to say this and say it again, and we'll get into it in detail. Senator Cory Booker, Senator Karen Bass, Senator Tim Scott, I'm here in South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott, all the senators. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act has already passed the House of Representatives. There's been some debate. Well, we want to get this passed for George Floyd and his family. President Biden wanted to have the bill signed by tomorrow. That's not going to happen. There have been even some Democrats. Earlier, you had Representative James Clyburn, who I have the utmost respect. A true icon, a political icon, a civil rights icon, a man who I am truly honored and humbled to say that I've had the chance to meet him. I've had a chance to have him as a guest on my show a couple of times, on my radio shows. I so admire and respect the work this man has done in civil rights and as a representative in the United States House of Representatives. But 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was on CNN and basically said that he would be willing to compromise, and if we don't get qualified immunity in this bill, pass it anyway, and we'll come back and try to get it later. I've heard some other, even Keith Ellison, who was the Attorney General that got the conviction in Minneapolis of George Floyd, who put together this incredible prosecuting team to get a conviction on murder and manslaughter. Even over the weekend, I saw the Attorney General for the state of Minneapolis, Keith Ellison, a black man, say that I would be for passing the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act even without qualified immunity. No, 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 no. There is no George Floyd Justice in Policing Act without qualified immunity. We cannot depend on the good nature and the goodness and the kindness and the compassion and the humanity and the empathy of these police officers. How's that worked out for us? It hasn't. It has gotten thousands of black men, women, children, 12-year-old babies like Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Ohio. It has not worked. Sandra Bland, I can go on and on and on. George Floyd, Daunte Wright. Recently here in Charleston, South Carolina, 2 weeks ago, Jason Sutherland. You saw him. You saw a murder on camera. He was in a detention center. County sheriffs tased him and put what they call a spit hood over his face. He was having a mental crisis. He started off at basically a mental hospital, volunteered himself, took himself in voluntarily. An incident broke out. The mental health facility called the North Charleston police officers. The facility apparently said that they wanted Mr. Sutherland taken to jail because apparently he got into a fight and allegedly assaulted one of the employees. The North Charleston Police Department took him to the Charleston County Detention Center. And so it was not the North Charleston police officers that engaged in excessive force in this instance. It was the Charleston County sheriffs. 2 of them have been terminated. So credit to the Cook County sheriff, the head of the department. I believe Christine Graziano. I got a chance to meet her. So I must give her credit. Within less than a week, I believe, maybe a week, those officers were terminated. But now we need convictions. Scarlett Wilson, who is what they call the solicitor for Charleston County for this area, basically, she's like the district attorney for this area. Scarlett Wilson, stop playing around with this thing. What more evidence, what more investigation do you need? Just press play. There's your evidence on tape. This is not hard. Just interview the witnesses. The tape is your witness. So the bottom line, what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying over and over again, without qualified immunity, there is no George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. I get it. It bans chokeholds. It basically eliminates no-knock warrants. Now, one thing I need to mention here, in the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, it eliminates federal no-knock warrants. It doesn't eliminate local, like a city warrant or county warrant or state warrant. In the case of Breonna Taylor, that no-knock warrant was signed by a judge there in Louisville. That was signed by a local judge. That was a local no-knock warrant. It wasn't a federal no-knock warrant. So even with the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, there'll still be some loopholes, as you see in this bill, where law enforcement officers who have evil, nefarious, criminal intentions can still find loopholes to continue to use excessive force to maim and murder innocent black men, women, and children. But you truly, without qualified immunity, if you do not remove qualified immunity, you have no justice, and you have no George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Period, point blank, full stop. End of conversation. There are negotiables and non-negotiables. But leaving qualified immunity in place is a non-negotiable, because you will never, you know what happens? If you sign a George Floyd Justice in Policing Act and you allow qualified immunity to remain the law of the land, that will give police officers a green light. That will give police officers a license to continue to kill and maim unarmed black men, women, and children. That's the message it will send for officers like Derek Chauvin and Michael Slager here in Charleston, South Carolina, who shot Walter Scott, who was running away from him, and shot him in the back like a coward, and Jason Van Dyke, who's still in jail, but his whatever monies that he has, his finances are intact. It will give police officers like those, the police officer that shot Dante Wright, it will give those police officers, it will send a message that it is okay for you to continue to murder and maim unarmed black men, women, and children. Because we're not really going to hold you accountable. We'll talk a good game, and yeah, we'll get rid of no-knock warrants federally, and we'll ban, we'll make it easier to, in theory, convict police officers of misconduct. And the bill will end racial profiling, at least on paper, but there will be nothing to hold these police officers accountable. Now, someone might argue and say, Geno, can you guarantee if you remove qualified immunity, will that guarantee that no more innocent, unarmed black men, women, and children will be murdered by an evil, hateful, racist, fearful, dirty cop? No. But I guarantee you this. I guarantee you it'll slow it down. Because I'm going to close this show once again by saying what I've been saying all along. This is a matter of human nature. This is what you got to understand about humans and human nature. If I can't appeal to your sense of humanity, if I can't appeal to your compassion, to your empathy, to your sense of decency, your sense of seeing me as a human, as an equal human, if I can't get you to see my humanity because of your fear, hatred, racism, bigotry, sickness, or whatever, causes you to see me as a black man or any other black person, man, woman, or child, the minute you see my black skin, that you see me as less than, and that you feel that you have a right to treat me the way you treated the brother down in Louisiana that we saw, that was tased and beaten and then handcuffed behind his back and restraints on his legs and was literally dragged across the highway, and then they allowed him to lay there and die, and he stand around and bragged about how they beat the this out of him, beat the ish out of him. If I can't get you not to treat me less than an animal, if I can't get you and hope that you see my humanity, I can get your attention with qualified immunity. Because then it's not even about you seeing my humanity. It's about you worrying about your financial future. If I can't get you to appeal to a sense of humanity and decency and compassion and empathy, if I can't get you to see my humanity, I can get your attention by digging in your pockets and going after your police union and digging in their pockets. I guarantee you that'll slow it down. Because racism, hatred, and bigotry is a powerful force, one of the most powerful forces on this planet. But I guarantee you, especially here in America, there's one force that's even more powerful in most cases than hate and racism and bigotry. And that's the power of greed and money. So if I can't appeal to your sense of humanity, I can get your attention. I can appeal to going after your money, going after the money of your police union, and that'll get your attention. Because then you may not shoot and kill me because you see me as a human, but you won't shoot and kill me because you see all your money. You see that pension that you've accumulated for 10, 20, 30 years, 300, 400, $500,000, maybe $1 million. Over 30, 40 years you've been on the force. You got this huge pension coming, right? No, wrong. Duh, wrong answer. You don't have it coming. Not if you murder somebody. If you engage in brutality that causes my death, or being permanently paralyzed like Jacob Blake, the brother up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, right? You don't see my humanity. I get it. Cool. But you see your pension gone. Your house paid for, gone. Right. Title to the house, I need you to run me that title. Your car's paid for. Oh, the deed, I need you to run me that deed. Or liquidate it. Liquidate the house, the car, and run me that money. Oh, you got a mutual fund over here. Oh, you got a fund saved up for your son or your daughter's college tuition. Oh, no, you don't. I need you to run me that money too. Oh, police union, fraternal order of police. Oh, yeah. I need you to run me some money. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Taxpayers should not have to pay for one of your officers committing murder. Any other profession, you can be held liably in a civil court. Doctors, attorneys, you name it. Police officers are no different. As a matter of fact, police officers should be held to a higher standard. So, without qualified immunity, there is no mechanism whatsoever to at least make a police officer that would engage in criminal, inhuman behavior, like those police officers who acted like animals out there on that highway in Louisiana, to where this brother was murdered on the street. They wouldn't treat a dog that way. So if somehow that level of depravity and inhumanity exists in you and you have a gun and a badge, I need to have something in place to check that inhumanity, and qualified immunity can help do it. It'll slow it down. It'll get your attention. It'll make you think. If you realize 30 years of my pension, gone. My house, gone. My car, gone. The money I got saved up for my kids to go to college, gone. Any other assets I have, real estate, property, stocks, investment portfolio, gone. That'll get your damn attention. We'll talk more about this tomorrow in full detail. Like I said, tomorrow marks 1 year since the death of George Floyd. Where have we come in 1 year? Where are we going? How far have we come? Have we gone backwards? We'll talk about all that tomorrow. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life as always. God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live right here on my YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Daily Variety Show right here on my YouTube channel. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Also, by the way, if you'd like to be a sponsor on the Geno Jones Show, if you would like to advertise on my show, if you would like for me to be the pitch man for your business, your product, your good, or your service, I would love to do that for you. I am simply called the King of Pitchmen. Holla at your boy. Leave me a message right here on my YouTube channel, or you can just send me an email, GenoJonesShow@my.gmail. All right, that's how you spell Geno with a G-E. GenoJonesShow@gmail. All right, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, on IG. Kel B. Cuttin, KELBECUTTIN. Also, shout out to Mr. Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can just do a Instagram search for Mr. Bruce Gage, Gage. So just search on Instagram or IG, Bruce Gage. Also check him out, flyballthestore.com. You see I got my nice little spring color here. Yes, sir. I'm ready for spring, summertime, making it, popping it off. Thank you for watching, everybody. God bless each and every one of you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I love you. I really do. Each and every one of you. I love you. Thank you for watching so much. Mother, you know I love you in life itself. Tomorrow, Tuesday, very special edition of the Geno Jones Show, recapping the 1 year mark since the tragic murder of George Floyd. How far have we come? How far do we need to go? Where are we going? Have we made any progress? We'll talk about all that and more tomorrow with my special guest, my political contributor, Mr. Sean Mitchell. And we may have another guest surprise too. It's going to be a hot show. You don't want to miss it. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for watching. Go back and binge watch all my previous episodes. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show right here on my YouTube channel. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, or whatever time you are watching this episode. If you are not watching it right now live in real time, once again, thank you for watching. Until tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Next time, be blessed.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.